Good afternoon and welcome to the brand new weekly Sea of Tranquility What's Hot Week in Review and Music. Today is Monday, September the 1st. We've been planning on doing this, 2014 by the way. We've been planning on doing this for quite some time, and we figured now's a good time as any. So look for a weekly update. It's generally going to run the 3 to 5 minute mark. For now it's going to be on our Facebook page, Sea Tranquility Facebook page. Eventually we will have a YouTube page where we will house all of these weekly segments. So I hope to see you every week to see what's new in metal, progressive rock, jazz fusion, and whatever else we happen to come up with. So basically the format's going to be, I'm going to talk quickly about a lot of new releases that have come out fairly recently, all of which you can see in full review on our website, www.seatranquility.org. So we're going to go through a few of them. Probably most popular the last week or two is this brand new one from Opeth, Pale Communion. If you're a fan of Opeth, they've changed a little bit the last couple of years. It used to be a terrific progressive death metal act with vicious growls and complex music and progressive tendencies, a little bit of folk here and there, a little jazz. Well, they dropped the extreme metal stuff. There's no more growls anymore. Mikkel Ackerfeldt is basically just using his clean vocals now. Guy's got a great voice. The music, less heavy. I wouldn't say that this new album there's really much metal at all. A couple tracks, rock a bit, but it's mainly like a 70s style progressive rock album. A lot of really great guitar parts, keyboards all over the place. They've got a new keyboard player. His name is Joachim Svalberg. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's got tons of mellotron and Hammond organ, electric piano all over the place. And just the musicianship is stellar. The melodies are great. But it's more of a prog album, folks. So if you're looking for, you know, Deliverance or Blackwater Park or even Ghost Reveries, not going to get it. But if you like their last album, Heritage, and you liked Damnation, which is their earlier, very proggy album from about 8 years ago or so, I think you'll like this one. So that's out. Pale Communion, it's called. What else we got here? Mr. Nugent, Shut Up and Jam, new album on Frontiers Records. I mean, what can you say? The guy can play guitar. That's what the new one's all about. You know, lyrics, it's typical Nugent fare, so look for, you know, stuff about barbecuing and hunting, a little bit of political stuff, so on and so forth. But if you want to hear Nugent rock out on guitar like he hasn't in years, this has got it. And plus, Derek St. Holmes is back in the band. He's only on one track here, but the guy can sing. I would have liked to hear him more on the album because I think his voice is a hell of a lot better than Ted's, but maybe the next release we'll see that, and I believe Derek's out with him on tour right now. But some good guitar work, so check it out. Here's a great band, international band, called the Graviators. They're kind of like a stoner doom band, been around for a couple of years, have a few albums under their belt. This is their latest one, and this one is called Motherload. And if you like Sabbath style, you know, 70s style doomy hard rock, I think you'll dig this. A lot of really heavy guitar work, you know, kind of that bluesy 70s hard rock style, but pretty damn heavy. I think check this out. Good band. Speaking of good bands, I mean, these guys need no introduction. Yep, the German machine called Accept. Their brand new one is called Blind Rage. It's now their third album with, not even new anymore, lead singer Rob Tornillo, previously of TT Quick, and he's fit in like a glove. I mean, this guy is just, as if Udo was almost never in the band, he's just kind of fit in and just taken over. Blood of the Nation was the first album with Rob on vocals, and they released the excellent Stalingrad, and Blind Rage is their latest. If you like the other two, you'll love this one. I mean, it's just classic Accept. You know, you've got your heavy, fast, thrashy metal rippers, you've got some more melodic stuff, you've got the fist-pumping anthems. I mean, there's a tune on here called Dying Breed that the lyrics are great. It just references all the fantastic metal bands and hard rock bands that kind of came before, like Zeppelin and Sabbath and Deep Purple and AC/DC and Saxon and Judas Priest. And the lyrics are great. It's just one of those crack open a beer, start playing your air guitar, get your fist in the air anthem. So check these guys out on tour. They're getting set to Rampage across the U.S. Really, really strong album. And if you get the deluxe set, it comes with a bonus disc, live concert from Chile 2013, which is killer. They play all the old and new hits. I mean, it's just great stuff. Here's a really interesting one. A band called Malpractice from Finland. Progressive metal band, kind of thrashy. They've been around for a few years. This is their 4th release. They're now on the Sensory label. Their new one is called Turning Tides. Really, really good stuff. In fact, that's what you're hearing in the background right now. Great guitar work, complex, good melodies. Kind of reminds me a little bit of classic Fates Warning, maybe a tad heavier, with a little more like shredding guitar work. But really, really good band. I don't even want to say up and coming because they've been around for a while, but most people might not have heard of them. But now that they're on Sensory, which is a great progressive metal label located out of New Jersey, got a lot of great bands on their roster. Definitely check these guys out. Very, very good album. And you know, here's a band that I kind of ignored for a while, maybe really didn't get. Anathema from the UK. Started out as kind of like a very melodic, doomy sort of band, and have over the years developed a lot of progressive tendencies, a lot of pop, great melodies, a lot of electronic elements. This is a really great CD. I mean, just really meditative, dreamy, moody type stuff. It's not heavy by any means, but great melodies, really good guitar work, great keyboards. It's the melodies that kind of do it for me. I mean, the songs are just fantastic. They just kind of sweep you away. So if you haven't checked out Anathema, Distant Satellites is their latest. The last 2 or 3 have been great too, so go back a few years and catch up if you haven't already. What else we got here? Let's see. Do You Want to Start a War? Latest from Fozzy, Chris Jericho and company. Some people don't like them. I dig them. I mean, great songs. It's, you know, it's modern, it's hip. A lot of it's heavy, a lot of it's catchy. I mean, and they do a killer cover of SOS, the old ABBA hit. It's just, it's addicting. I don't know, what can I tell you? Good stuff, check it out. What else we got here? Ace. What more do I need to say? Ace Frehley, Kiss legend. One of the most innovative guitarists of all time. There's only one Ace Frehley. His latest here is called Space Invader. It's filled with Ace, trademark Ace Frehley licks, and you know, it's lyrically, it's a little on the silly side. You know, all sorts of songs about going to space and this, that, and the other thing. And there's even a crazy cover of The Joker by the Steve Miller Band. But it's kind of fun. But you know, otherwise, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, it's a really good Ace Frehley album, and if you like Ace, you'll love it. Blackstone Cherry, Magic Mountain. I mean, one of the best up-and-coming American, I dare call them Southern rock, but they're kind of like a Southern rock, stoner rock band. You know, half the songs are all about smoking weed and, you know, partying and stuff, but killer riffs, great grooves, great vocals. It's earthy, it's rootsy, it's heavy. Check these guys out. Prog legends from Canada, Saga. I mean, you know, Saga City, the new one. It's just Saga doing what they do best, maybe a little bit more rockin' than normal. Ian Crichton's guitar work is just fantastic here. Heavy, crunchy, great leads. Jim Gilmore's synth work is all over here, and you know, the great Michael Sadler is back in the band, and he's just a vocalist that you can't replace. Another great album from Saga, who now have been around for, God, close to 40 years. Let's see, Speeding Along, California Breed, debut album, Glenn Hughes, Jason Bonham, and they're new, and I forget his name. They got a hotshot 22-year-old guitar player in the band. Really good stuff. I mean, if you like Black Country Communion, if you like Hughes' solo stuff, very, you know, funky 70s style hard rock. Hughes sounds better than ever. Bonham is just all over the place on here. Guitar work is really good. Sad thing is, Bonham, I guess, is already out of the band. He couldn't make the tour happen. He had better paying gigs available. So Hughes and another drummer and the guitar player are out on tour right now. They're going to be opening for Alter Bridge across the country. So really strong album, so go check them out on tour if you get a chance. German power metal band, Brainstorm. Sorry. This band is great. I mean, if you haven't followed Brainstorm at all and you like power metal, they have been so consistent. Just put out one album after another, just really good, heavy, melodic power metal. You know, they don't get into the whole Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy kind of crap. They just straight for the jugular. And this latest one is called Fire Soul, and it's a keeper. Really good. They're on AFM Records, which has a ton of great bands on their roster. Here is a great heavy-hitting prog band from Michigan called Tiles. They've been around for 20 years now. They're actually celebrating their 20th anniversary. They have been for the last year. And this latest one is called Off the Floor 02. It's basically second in an installment of the band just last year decided to go into the studio and record a bunch of their classic tunes live in the studio. So this is the second installment in that series. There's a bunch of really strong Tiles tunes from throughout their career. Really fresh sounding, really heavy hitting, live in the studio recordings. And there's also a bonus CD here of a couple of tunes from their Rozfest appearance in 2005, which is stellar. I wish I put the whole show on here. Really good band. If you haven't heard these guys, it's produced by, actually mastered by Terry Brown, who you might remember worked with Rush for many years. These guys were actually a Rush cover band prior to becoming Tiles, so some Rush similarities in there, but just really, really good, heavy, progressive rock, great guitar work. Check them out. Now on the reissue, I'm going to say live stuff from the vaults, we've also got out the new Todd Rundgren and Utopia, live from the Electric Ballroom in Milwaukee from October 1978. It's a 2-disc set. I mean, if you like Todd Rundgren and Utopia, this basically came out right around the time of the Oops, Wrong Planet album, if you remember that one. So it's got a bunch of Todd Rundgren solo hits on here, as well as a lot of the popular Utopia songs from that album and the Raw album that came out right before. Really, really good set, very underrated band. And then we've got this fantastic Steve Hillage live at the Rainbow in 1977. Steve Hillage, you might recall, was a lead guitar player from Gong, also had a very prominent solo career, which he still has to this day, as well as playing in various other bands. If you like space rock, progressive rock, with just crazy amount of guitar solos shooting all over the place, you cannot go wrong with this. So that's what we got for this week's update. We went a little longer here on our first installment, but be sure to check in next week with our weekly update of what's hot in the world of music with Sea of Tranquility. My name is Pete Pardo, the publisher of Sea of Tranquility. Remember, www.seaoftranquility.org. See you next week.